Let's be honest, the old school way of recruitment isn't cutting it anymore. Cold calls that people barely answer, manual follow-ups, and lack of processes to scale. It's time to evolve. I'm Jessica Kimber, and this series is called The Savvy Recruiter, a series built to help recruiters scale their desk the modern way. We'll cover tech, systems, automation, and even strategies that free you from the grind so you can focus on what actually moves the needle. In today's episode, I'm joined by Elizabeth Kingston, founder and CEO of Kingston Human Capital, and she'll be sharing how to leverage your CRM to make more temp placements faster than ever before.
So Liz, thank you so much for joining today and sharing with us what you're using JobAdder for. And I know we were speaking offline about all of the amazing things that JobAdder can do. And we really want to show you, because one of the things Liz is an absolute expert at is filling temp jobs and filling the temp jobs within a matter of hours. So she's been kind enough to share with you guys exactly how she does that. So Liz, if you could tell me a little bit about how you use JobAdder when it comes to temp roles and your fill rate.
Well, recently we have been using JobAdder in two ways to increase our fill rate. Now, one of the biggest ways, Jess, that we are really moving the needle is in our temp utilization. So what do I mean by this? So with any temp role, there can only be one temp winner, right? But often you have a really solid silver medalist candidate who the client loves, but maybe just didn't get the position. But as a temp recruiter, you've put in all of the time interviewing that candidate, sourcing that candidate, prepping their resume, prepping them for interview. And it's often at the stage where, let's say, the client rings you and you are securing the person who's got the role. The silver medalist always gets the governor back. But we've put in a lot of cost to, get that temp ready for market. And you've received great feedback on that temp being very good at interview. They just weren't the perfect fit. It makes so much sense as a temp consultant to do something for that temp and to use them. And when, one of the biggest problem agency owners has is candidate utilization. How many candidates that your recruiters interview that they're actually not utilizing or taking to market? It's a lot of wastage.
Absolutely. So you kind of use it as like hybrid speed to market to actually fill the role, but then it's like the reverse marketing strategy off the back of it and how you pipeline your prospect lists and your candidate lists in order to create that speed to market.
Exactly. It makes perfect sense with it. When we have a silver medalist, why don't we serve that temp? Because we know they're only in the market for a short period of time while they're looking for the next temp assignment. You've got proof that clients say they're great. They just weren't perfect on this occasion. Why don't we put that ready to go temp out into a floating or an advocacy campaign? And it really flips the switch in terms of utilization, but service for your temp. How many times do you think we have to do a rejection call saying, I'm really sorry, Jess, on this occasion, we were pipped at the post at the interview. I'll let you know about any new roles that come into my pipeline. That's recruitment 101. Leveling it up a little bit. Why don't we change the conversation and say, I'm really sorry, we didn't get the role on this occasion, but here is what I'd like to do for you. And in that moment, in the rejection call, yes, you allow your temp a little bit of time to, feel the disappointment of not getting a role, but immediately rolled into, if here's the other clients that I would like to advocate your details to, and I want to do that today. Can I have 5 minutes to talk you through those?
Yeah, game changer. And you know what, not even for the results of us, but for that candidate experience as well. And clients have been able to scale their team and access candidates easier and faster. So it's a win-win all round.
Absolutely. And because you've got a second opinion from your client saying, look, she was great, this other person just beat her, can be really confident to take that candidate to like clients in the market.
Fantastic. Do you mind sharing us how you do it? Some of your pipelining and how you use JobAdder?
Sure. We'll kick it off at the stage where you'll be looking at a job in my pipeline, and we're going to go into the job screen. In the job screen, you're going to see Jess, who is a candidate who's going to get the role, and you're going to see Elizabeth, who's the candidate that's the silver medalist. So let's pretend they've just had the conversation with Jess. Congratulations, you've got the temp role. You're starting on Monday. I'm about to make the call to Elizabeth, the unsuccessful candidate. So it's at this stage in the role where I've placed Jess, the successful candidate. but I'm just about to pick up a call and I'm going to start chatting to Elizabeth. So the summary of the conversation is, Elizabeth, I'm so sorry you've been unsuccessful, but here's what I'd like to do for you today. And immediately, using the JobAdder framework, I can click into Elizabeth's profile very, very quickly. And this is where I will remind myself of the skill sets and capabilities that she would have. Now, because of JobAdder's incredible client skill coding function, in JobAdder, I have in the past coded my clients. So which of my clients shop for a management accountant, which of my clients look for financial accountants, which of my clients look for tax accountants. Now, Elizabeth is a management accountant. And immediately, while I'm in the one and the same phone call to her, I can come into JobAdder and I can pull up my skill-coded clients where I've kept a list of everybody who hires management accountants. Now, let's hypothetically, all of these customers are in the same segment as where her skill set are, but very, very quickly, I can immediately eyeball the customers that I've skill coded as these are the people who hire temp management accountants. And while I'm on the phone call with Elizabeth, I can be saying, so while we haven't got the job today, I'd really like to advocate your details to Ricky over at Qantas. Their team often hires talent similar to your capability, and my other temps in their team are really very satisfied. I'd like to make an inquiry on your behalf. Same thing, I'd also like to reach out to Stuart at Jetstar. He's based over in the CBD, blah, blah, blah. And I can verbally get her authority to represent to these clients there and there. Now, depending on your level of compliance, you might want to send her a very quick email or get a verbal recording of her authority to do so. But by coming to my all contacts, by going to the search contacts screen, I should step it through. We go to search contacts. I'd go to category, my accounting qualified clients. I'm looking for the accounting qualified clients that I have skill coded with hiring management accountants. Now, if we want to take it one step further, we could put a skill code in, but today I don't want to do that. I'm going to ask JobAdder to immediately give me the list of all of my clients who hire management accountants, and immediately I can activate, I can select all, and I can float from here. Now, 3 things we need to make sure we've done is always let the candidate know where their details are going, and also be backing ourselves up with that authority to represent. But from here, I can write a really quick email to my clients or potential clients I'm bringing down the funnel, and I can do a one-to-many type of advocacy. So I won't write the email today, but using JobAdder's function of attaching the candidate link, I write a nice little narrative, and then all of these clients will receive a copy of Elizabeth's resume. And not only have I just delivered a rejection call, I've delivered a rejection call, had a sense of the relationship with the candidate. We've delivered the rejection call, but served the candidates by giving them options of what else I'd like to do on their behalf. And I served my client group by making them aware of a candidate who performed really well at interviews.
So powerful. The experience on both sides of the coin there is insane, right? Because most candidates will just get a rejection email, sometimes a call, and that's that. And they've spent all of this time with a recruiter. So this is just taking that to a whole new level. And whether you place or don't place, that's to be decided soon. But at least that way, you as a business, you've really stepped up your experience level, your delivery. And off the back of that, it's your reputation as well, which is so important for a small business. So that's amazing.
That's right. And, once I've sent these emails today, they're part of my outreach to those clients tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. I'm reaching out, I'm dealing with it, and in sectional temp, what needs are coming up in your team. Your clients love being thought of. And it's a softer modality of BD because you are working on behalf of helping somebody find a job. So I find it's received really well.
I agree. Yeah. It's coming from a place of help and not just sales, right? It's not just a sales call. It's, hey, I'm exclusively working with this candidate now. I'm really trying to help them. Would you happen to have anything that can help you as well? sometimes right place, right time, especially if they've received some value from you beforehand. And the way that they got into your system, into your CRM, is because you shared value with them on the front end, on that first touch point before they even made it onto the system.
That's right. And this is how we win temp loyalty. If most of us in temp recruitment world are saying, great, I'll let you know when something else comes into my pipeline. If you're offering this, it wins loyalty. It means temp will take an assignment from you sometimes when they won't take an assignment from somebody else. It wins exclusivity. And why not utilize your silver medalists every single time? Because your silver medalists, there's usually one in every job process.
Yeah, always. Sometimes more than one, right? Would you potentially float more than one out as well if there was 3 or 4 that were like A-grade, top tier talent?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If a silver medalist performs well, I think you've invested the time to interview them. You've got all their documentation ready. I think you're doing a disservice as a temp consultant if you're not floating them out to yourself, that you're doing a big disservice to your clients. You're doing a big disservice and to your temps as well, because often you will get them a job and their interview skills are pretty polished up because they just attended an interview a day before. So they're ready to go in that interview modality.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing. And just to finish up, one question I'd like to ask is when you do your coding, because I know with JobAdder, it's got like the categories, the subcategories, and then the skills. What would be your advice around how to set up your codes in JobAdder?
A great question, because JobAdder's codings are fantastic. Your codings can match on your candidate profiles and your client profiles. So think of them as one and the same. The 2 things I would recommend is keep it simple and associated with jobs, families, and job subtags. The best lesson we learned when we went into this, and what I would recommend you don't do, is coding in an over-complex way, because there are a million different options and you can code for millions of scenarios. But the reality is, if your coding system is too complex, a busy recruiter is not going to apply that when they are, data treating a customer or a candidate. So keep it fast, keep it simple, and think of it from the desk perspective, and that's how you'll get really effective results.
Absolutely. I agree. From a really high level, how I like to think about coding is the categories, the industry. So that could be IT industry. These subcategories are the job titles. That could be software engineer, cybersecurity engineer. And then the skill would be if they've got a particular system or software that they've used. So you can break it down based on that. That's been really effective for myself and many of my clients as well.
Absolutely. The skill coding in JobAdder is second to none. It will help your consultants move fast. And the other thing is, when we think about our VIP customers, and I say, Jess, tell me about your top IT customers who buy this type of talent. Our brains are designed to only recall between 3 and 10 reference points, whereas our database, which is really our secondary brain, and that's how we should use it, will recall 20 to 100 customers. And again, we know when you advocate, and it's a quality float or a quality advocate, you create opportunities for your attempts.
Amazing. That was really helpful. Thank you so much, Liz, for coming on to my YouTube channel and sharing that piece of value. As you guys know, I talk a lot about systems and how to set yourself up with your systems and processes to make sure that they work for you and not against you. Coding is one of the many ways that you can do that. It not only helps with speed, it helps with accuracy, and it also helps you be able to deliver a really tailored and quality service to your clients as well. So thank you so much, Liz. I appreciate it. And if you did like this, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe. We'll be posting more videos just like this. Thanks for watching.